Americans have had a century-long love affair with AM radio. But one of AM's most popular outlets is in danger of going extinct. And now an unlikely duo on Capitol Hill is working to stop that. CBS News transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave has more on the efforts to keep the airwaves coming in loud and clear through car radios.
As you approach the McCluggage Bridge.
For nearly 100 years, WMBD has been covering and talking about the news in central Illinois from 1470 on the AM dial. But not anymore for drivers of a number of new electric vehicles. A host of automakers have pulled AM radio tuners from their cars, saying the EV batteries can interfere with reception.
It's no coincidence that the first two letters of America are AM. They've been around a long time.
Greg Batton is the Greg in the Dan and Greg Show, heard mornings on WMBD for nearly 20 years.
I'm not worried that we can't adapt to those changes, but it doesn't help when you yank away a few million radios and say, well, those folks can't listen to you ever.
He was there when a vicious EF4 tornado tore a 46-mile path through Washington County, Illinois, killing 3 and injuring 125, while causing $800 million in damage and sending debris as far as Chicago.
We were immediately on the air and stayed on the air nonstop for days.
There are nearly 4,500 AM radio stations across the country, heard by about 82 million people a week. The AM signal tends to reach further than FM radio, often stretching deep into rural America. It is typically home to news and talk radio.
If you take away the AM radio from cars, what does that do to your business?
The quick answer is, it could be disastrous to our business, no question.
During a hearing on Capitol Hill this month, first responders argued AM radio serves as the backbone of the nation's emergency alert system.
Our belief is that AM radio is a critical source of information to our citizens during a crisis. When disaster strikes, no one should lose access to this essential information because the vehicle being driven does not have AM radio.
Our members view that there are more options for delivering content and alerts now in vehicles than there ever were.
Scott Schmidt from the trade association representing automakers told Congress the vast majority of cars still have AM radio, and the decision to pull it from some EVs was not made lightly.
This has been something that manufacturers look at customer preferences very closely, and so they do a lot of market research and try to determine how to deliver the most value to their customers.
But that drive to tune out AM radio is prompting unusual bipartisan agreement between the very liberal Senator Ed Markey and the very conservative Senator Ted Cruz.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Kidding aside, they are now co-sponsoring a bill to require AM radio stay in vehicles.
If Elon Musk can brag that he can send rockets into space, that he should be able to figure out how to keep AM radio in passenger vehicles.
AM radio is the lifeline to people who are in crisis, so it's an integral part of keeping Americans safe.
While automakers call the proposed legislation distinctly non-essential, Ford reversed course, dropping plans to remove AM radio from all its new vehicles and will return it to all 2023 EVs in the coming weeks. Ford's Donna Dixon is the lead engineer for the electric Mustang Mach-E.
We talked and listened to our customers, just the customers telling us, hey, there's some emergency broadcast frequencies that still aren't available. It's important to us. We said, okay, we got it. We turned it back on.
Why take it out at all? It seems like it's not broke, don't fix it kind of problem.
And we'll continue to watch it as we go forward to make sure that it's available.
At a charging station in Gilman, Illinois, an hour outside of Peoria, Mach-E owner Keith Rice is glad to hear it's staying.
I just think there's too many things on AM radio that people still use.
WMBD.
Something that's never far from Greg Batton's mind whenever that on-air light turns red. For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Kris Van Cleave in Peoria, Illinois.
Don't take away my AM radio. I need the fan. I need John Sterling, Susie Waldman.
See, that's what I said.
WCBS.
There's still sports things that are on AM radio.
Yeah.
At least that's what I might go to it for.
Totally.
Yeah. When you don't have Sirius. Sorry.
Places, no, where there are tornadoes and hurricanes, people really depend on that. We've all covered those things, and you're tuning to hear the
Especially if you're driving, especially when you're driving.
There's a world where Sirius and AM radio and all these other things exist, right?
Yeah.